All right. This works. Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited you all are here. And I know it's a Sunday night, and this is usually my prep time for the week ahead. So I know it's always hard to carve out time, but you guys have done it. And I'm so glad you're with us. So I was asked by Sarah, and I think she kind of polled some of you and asked what you wanted to hear about. So tonight I'm going to talk mostly about duplication. So duplication, the word kind of gets thrown around a lot, especially in network marketing. Oh, you've got to duplicate. And if you have duplication, then your team's going to grow and that sort of thing. But what is that, and how do you do it, and why is it important? So on the topic of duplication, I love what John Maxwell teaches. He says that the people who follow you will do about 50% of what you do right and 100% of what you do wrong. So that just focuses us in on the overview of duplication. It really all comes back to you. So when you're thinking about duplication, you're probably thinking, okay, how do I get the people in my downline to do what I want them to do? Well, it really ultimately comes down to you and what you are doing. Because if you're doing 100% or everything you can right and one thing wrong, they're going to do that one thing for sure, and maybe half of what you're doing right. So you have to just keep looking in the mirror and make sure that you are constantly in income producing activity, that you are continuing to work with prospects and meet new people and sponsor new people. And it's truly leading from the front. So if you're spending a lot of time looking down at your downline and wishing that they would, kick it into gear, and if they would just start working, if they would just start doing this, then, I'd be successful. If you're spending a lot of time doing that, then you're not spending enough time doing the right thing, which is being an income producing activity yourself. We didn't even record it, did we? We did a training last Sunday that we spoke a lot about income producing activity, but ultimately income producing activity is two things. One is getting people to take a closer look at the products or try them, and two, taking a closer look at the opportunity, the business opportunity. So if you're not doing those things on a daily basis, there's no way that your team, whether that's a team of you and one other person or a team of you and 100 people, whatever you are doing is what they will duplicate. So you have to lead from the front and be your own rock star. I hear tons of talk all the time about people, I'm just, I got to find my rock star. I got to find my rock star. That one person who's just going to take me to Emerald, and I just need to find my own Stephanie Murray who, doesn't care and is just going to go run with it. Well, you have to be your own rock star. If you are, constantly thinking about, I have to find a rock star, you're probably not spending enough time being your own rock star. And again, that's all comes back to your being in income producing activity yourself. And then you are what you attract. So we talk a ton about personal development, and it's important, not just because, you should be reading a book. I'm not just trying to encourage people to read or waste time doing something that's not important. But when you are in working hard at personal development, when you are improving yourself by reading leadership books and reading books about how to become a better network marketer, you're going to attract people that are in that same mindset, you're going to open doors that you would normally not have. It will change the way that you look at the world, that you perceive things. You'll start seeing other people and other opportunities to talk to people and share with people. It will grow your confidence. So if you're not consistently on a daily basis working on personal development, then you can't expect your team to duplicate that. You can never ask your team or anybody in your downline to do something that you're not already doing yourself. I'm going to take a sip here. Sorry, we've got like crazy wind out here and it's done something crazy to my throat. Build a life, don't find one. I like that. Okay. Now, when it comes down to, that was just kind of my preface for duplication. So whatever, like the actual nitty gritty of what duplication is doesn't matter if you're not already doing inactivity yourself. So duplication is simply getting people to do the same thing you're doing. So if you're not doing it yourself, they can't do it too. So when it comes to the process of duplication, it's all about simplicity. It really, working this business should be something so simple that a kid could do it. That, somebody that really a monkey, or a 10-year-old kid. If a 10-year-old kid can't follow your process of duplication, then it's too complicated. So I'm constantly thinking about ways to simplify what we do and make it easier and more accessible to people. So overall, just keep it simple. Now, when you're working on keeping, making it more and more simple. And then the hard part of this is whatever process you come to, which will probably, it will probably continue to evolve. You might tweak things here and there, but ultimately what's important is that you figure out what your process is, and then you follow through with it consistently every time with every ambassador. So we have all sorts of resources within our team. There's all sorts of things in the team pages, in the files and videos and all sorts of things. So it's not like you have to create your own process. But there is so much that you can, there is so much out there that you can kind of pick and choose and piece together what fits for you. But don't try to veer too far off the path. You really need to be looking up to your upline, and just keep looking up. If you look up until you find somebody who's successful, who is where you want to be, and you look at what they're doing and duplicate it. You do what they are doing. And a lot of times that doesn't mean that you have to have a personal conversation. You don't have to have, reach out to every jewel upline that you have and ask them, what are you doing? How did you get to where you are? Because chances are those people, myself included, have YouTube videos out there and have documents on their team page. And there are people like John Maxwell that have written books, and Sarah Robbins and Eric Worre, who has built a network marketing business, that you can treat them as your personal mentor by consuming the stuff that they've put out there. So I would definitely say that when you choose to really run with this yourself, I'm going to kind of get to this at the end, but you can't wait for someone to teach you what to do. You have to go out there. All the information is at your fingertips. We are in the information age. It takes you about 3 seconds to Google anything, to get on YouTube and find a video about anything you could possibly imagine regarding Plexus. So find somebody that's successful, that is where you want to be. Look at what they're doing, and then try to do, for the most part, what they're doing. You can always tweak it to fit you. So kind of the process that we use, I guess you could say, are just some ideas that I wanted to throw out at you. So when you're thinking about what your process of duplication looks like, first of all, think about what your ambassador did to sponsor you. That is exactly how I started. When I signed up as an ambassador and I told her I wasn't interested in doing Plexus at all, and then I started posting and reading things in the team pages and stuff, and the first person messaged me, what is this pink drink stuff? All I did was I scrolled back up to the girl that sponsored me. I scrolled up in our chat and I copied exactly what she said to me, and I pasted it into the chat of that person. And slowly, I tweaked it to make it sound like myself, but ultimately that's what it is. Well, obviously that girl did something successful. She got me to sign up. So why wouldn't I use the same thing that she did to me to help to sign up somebody else? So when you sign somebody, a new ambassador, things that you can, what your process might look like is initially with every ambassador, whether they say they want to work the business or not, you could be doing a welcome call or a welcome Zoom with you and your sponsor and this new ambassador. That could be a phone call, that could be on Zoom, that could be on, a group chat or something, whatever it is, so that you can get your sponsor in front of this new ambassador so that they can share their story and, just welcome them to the team. And that new ambassador, whether they are just here to take the products and they just want the wholesale discount, or they're here to work, they're getting exposure to another friendly face, somebody else that they can reach out to, and you can make sure that they have all their questions answered. The next kind of facet to this would be making sure that when you have a new ambassador that you provide support regarding the products, taking the products, because ultimately we're all a product of the product. That's how we share. If you have somebody that is seeing success on the products, they're going to be more likely to share and to continue to share that they're feeling good. So, one of the most important things when you have a new ambassador is making sure that you provide the, support regarding the products, how to take them, when to take them, and that you're checking in on them just like you would check in on a customer to make sure that they're taking it right and that they're feeling good and you're troubleshooting with them. This next little bullet point I have for you is something that I'm launching tomorrow with my levels 1 through 3. It's something that several other jewels have been doing, and it's seen a lot of success in their downlines and duplicating really well. So I'm gonna give you a little sneak heads up, I guess, here. So basically, when you have a new ambassador who is ready to work the business, whether they've just signed up today and they say, yeah, I'm ready to go, or this is somebody who has tried, they were wholesale and they tried the products for a couple months and they've just decided, okay, now I'm ready, or a year later, now I'm ready. Somebody who's brand new, you can ask them, okay, so, are you ready to go silver today or this week? And then you give them the opportunity, you tell them what day that you're available, and you ask that person or tell that person that to get their top 3 prospects or 3 to 5 people on a Zoom call with you and do like a mini opportunity meeting just right then and there. That's doing several things. One, that's getting them out of their comfort zone and talking to people immediately. You can help them through what to say to these people, but it should be very simple, giving them inviting language to get on this Zoom. And then once these people are on, you're modeling for this new ambassador who's ready to rock and roll how you would present the products. And this doesn't mean that you have to be a pro. It doesn't mean that you have to know everything about every product and be able to answer every question. It's so it's doing a lot for your ambassador because you're modeling, and then it's doing a lot for you because the best way to learn anything is to teach it. So you're going to have to kick your own butt in gear and be prepared. Maybe watch some YouTube videos of people doing opportunity meetings, that sort of thing, so that you are comfortable in sharing really briefly the products and the opportunity. So that's a thought that can be a step in your process. So you're welcoming, doing an immediate welcome call or Zoom with the new ambassador, making sure that they get product information and support on taking their products. You can do this immediate Zoom call with their top 3 to 5 prospects when they're ready to work the business. And then, I would but look at what your ambassador hopefully sent you some sort of information when you first signed up, whether that was via email or they tagged you in files on the team page. But set a process for yourself of boil it down to what's the simplest and what's the most important for a new ambassador to receive. So if it's an email with 3 attachments, or if it's tagging them in, the pinned post on one of the team pages, that sort of thing. Again, simplicity is key though here. So you don't want to bombard people, and you need to know your people. What would be too much for somebody might not be enough for another person. So ultimately, I'm not here to really tell you should be doing this, this, and this, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. But look at what your ambassador, your sponsor did to sponsor you. And because obviously it worked, and try to, give it some numbers or make it make sense for you so that you can duplicate that. You can implement it in a very simple way. One of the things that I did probably a year or so ago, I put together the step 1 and step 2. It's like the first 48 hours or the 24 hours and then the first month as an ambassador. That's for people who want to work the business. And it can even that can be boiled down even further. But that's a good example if you want to look at something like how to break down your processes, what people need to know on day 1 and day 2 and week 2 and week 3 and 4 to get them, educated on the products and educated on the business. So that's I'm sure Sarah has that in the files on her team page. Okay. So I wanted to keep this short and sweet. So that's kind of all I have like really on duplication. I think we're going to do question and answer, but I do have a little bit of closing for you. So again, this all comes down to you, no matter what. You can work on some great system all day long and make it perfect and have all these files and a great team page and all these things that you think are really awesome and that should be motivating people to do something. But ultimately, if you are not in activity, if you are not in income producing activity yourself on a daily basis, then nothing else matters. It all comes down to you. And that might be a little bit convicting to you, but I think it's really an empowering thought to know that no matter what anybody else says, no matter what anybody else does, if nobody joins me for 3 years, or if people join me and fall off for 3 years, I'm choosing and I have full control over my destiny and my success. No one is standing in my way. No, it doesn't matter how many people tell me no. It doesn't matter how many people try the products and after a month quit. It doesn't matter. What matters is you. If you are consistently in activity, consistently meeting new people and consistently introducing them to the products in the business and consistently following up with people, it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. Nobody will stand in your way. So it all comes down to you. I always say, wait for no one. That was kind of revealed to me after my first year of Plexus, that was really how my attitude in that first 11 months was, that I was waiting for no one. It didn't matter if, Joe Schmo said they were interested in Plexus and, they weren't ready to order for 6 months. It didn't matter. I was moving on. I'm going to follow up with that person, but I'm going and going. And so tries it and doesn't like it. Doesn't matter. I'm not waiting for that person, and I'm not wasting any time being sad that person, fell off the bandwagon, because I've got business to handle and I've got people to introduce, because there's a whole world of people out there that need what we have. So don't waste your precious time and their precious time moping or being sad or worrying about how you're going to get to where you want to be. If you are in activity and moving toward it, then you will get there. And again, and kind of in closing, you don't have to recreate the wheel. You should be looking up to see who's successful and duplicate what they've done. But we also have tons of resources, and that you just don't wait for anyone. You cannot wait for someone to teach you. I hope you weren't waiting for this team call. Not that it was about duplication, but just as an example, if you had just waited, in 4 weeks, I know Stephanie's going to do a team call about duplication, so I'm just going to wait until then because she'll teach me everything I need to know, and from there I'll take off. That is not the right attitude to have. That everything is at your fingertips, and it's up to you to take charge and to lead by example. Don't wait for anyone to teach you or to tell you what to do or to lead the way for you. So I want to leave you with this quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. So, with that,